And then we got to thinking about all the times Carrie totally sucked. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 reasons Carrie Bradshaw was the absolute worst.
You'll all come visit, right?
Whoa, talk about denial.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at the most horrible, selfish, and inconsiderate things that Carrie did on Sex and the City. We're excluding things that happened in the movies because we already had plenty to work with. Oh, and we won't even be touching on some of her wardrobe choices. Number 10. She's always trying to change big.
I left a Hair Pro 1200. And I didn't stop at that.
Much has been written about how truly awful Mr. Big was to Carrie throughout the series. Heck, we even made a video about it. But what isn't always acknowledged is that sometimes Carrie was just as bad. They say you shouldn't be with someone you want to change. And this is advice that Carrie clearly does not heed.
I am so tired of calming down.
Look, I have to be in a relationship where if I have to go to Paris, I have to go to Paris.
She obviously can't accept Big for who he is, and is constantly trying to mold him into the type of person she wants.
Big's heart had closed again. Maybe it would reopen in another 5 years, maybe it wouldn't. But I knew myself well enough to know that that's not enough.
She knows he's emotionally withdrawn and afraid of commitment, and yet instead of moving on or accepting his flaws, she spends years giving him ultimatums.
Just tell me I'm the one.
Number 9. She bails on her friends for guys.
Bad news, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
You can't come? Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I'm just all the way downtown with the Russian, and it's very cold out.
While friendship is touted as the central theme of Sex and the City, and the girls agree to be each other's soulmates, Carrie repeatedly ignores one of the central rules of female friendships, which is not to ditch your friends for a guy. She does it countless times throughout the series, notably in season 2 when she stays in to eat veal with Big, leaving Miranda alone at the bar.
You're at Big's? You and I are having dinner tonight.
Well, he got this veal.
You blew me off for a piece of politically incorrect meat?
Later on, she does it all the time when she's dating the Russian, so much so that it concerns the girls. She even ditches Charlotte while she's blindfolded in a department store to take a call from him. Get it together, Carrie.
I swear I looked, and then I thought, best if she finds me. I'm eating him tomorrow. Cute, huh?
Number 8. She's a stubborn, inconsiderate smoker. We could go on and on about how Carrie manages to somehow stay stick thin while eating out all the time and never exercising, but let's focus on one particular aspect of her health. We get it. Sex and the City took place in the 90s and early aughts when smoking was much more prevalent. But even when she's asked not to smoke somewhere, Carrie flouts the rules and disregards just how inconsiderate it is to the non-smokers around her.
No smoking cap.
Sir, we're talking up the butt. A cigarette is in order.
She's so devoted to this dirty habit that she almost misses out on dating Aiden because of it.
I was completely ready to trade in my crush
Hi.
when it dawned on me just how much I was willing to give up for a cigarette.
Number 7. She slut-shames Samantha.
Do you kiss after a blowjob?
No, she just signs the delivery slip and sends him on his way.
The women of Sex and the City claim to be sexually liberated, but aside from Samantha, they all show dated views on female sexuality at some point throughout the series.
If I walked in on you giving a blowjob to a worldwide express guy,
You would never walk in on me because that is something I would never do.
there.
Carrie can be extremely judgmental, even of Sam, who was very understanding when Carrie admitted to her that she was cheating on Aiden. The most notable instance is when she walks in on Samantha being, well, intimate with her worldwide express guy. Carrie shows a surprising lack of understanding for the situation, instead of just laughing it off.
Could you have gotten out of there any faster?
No.
Oh, lighten up.
Number 6. She can't accept that Natasha will always hate her.
Who does she think she is?
Big's wife. Oh my God, that was awful. I can't believe that there's a person in New York who could hate me that much.
After her affair with Big, which trust us, we'll get into later, Carrie seeks out some sort of closure with his wife Natasha. After treating her with blatant disregard throughout the time she was sleeping with her husband, Carrie expects that Natasha will be willing to speak with her so that she can lessen her guilt about the situation. Understandably, Natasha is not amenable to this, especially when Carrie basically stalks her after she refuses to meet her.
And if there was something that I could do to take it all away, I would. But I can't. So I came here today because I needed to say how sorry I am.
The fact that she just won't let this one slide is proof of just how selfish she can be.
I'm sorry that you felt the need to come down here. Now, not only have you ruined my marriage, you've ruined my lunch.
Number 5. She's a sex columnist but has narrow-minded views on bisexuality. Sex and the City has often been championed for being sexually progressive and showing many aspects of female sexuality on TV that had previously gone undiscussed. In Season 3, though, Carrie starts dating a guy and soon finds out that he's bisexual.
And before her, Leslie couldn't commit.
And before Leslie, there was Mark.
Is that a problem?
She is shockingly unchill about the whole thing, calling into question whether bisexuality exists at all. She even goes as far as to call bisexuality just a layover to gay town.
You know, I did the date the bisexual guy thing in college, but in the end, they all ended up with men.
Yeah, serious cringe. Samantha is actually the only one in the group who isn't similarly closed-minded on this issue.
You know, I think it's great. He's open to all sexual experiences. He's evolved. It's hot.
It's not hot, it's greedy. He's double dipping.
Number 4, she expects others to fix her financial messiness.
Why didn't you offer me the money?
I knew you were gonna say that.
I wouldn't take it.
When Carrie and Aiden break up for the second time, Carrie is upset that he's not simply leaving her the apartment he purchased, and she's forced to come up with the money to buy it from him. Because of her frivolous lifestyle and spending habits, she doesn't have any savings, and therefore goes to her friends for help.
I could loan you the rest.
Look, that is really, really sweet of you two to offer.
She's somehow upset that Charlotte doesn't offer her the money for a down payment, despite the fact that of course Charlotte shouldn't be expected to offer her the money for a down payment.
Sitting at a Chinese restaurant, turning away when you should have been looking at me. And what kills me is you don't even have to work. You're volunteering.
This sense of entitlement is hard to ignore in her character. Number 3, she just generally treats Aiden like crap. Aside from the obviously horrible thing that Carrie does to Aiden, which, like we said, we'll get to, she basically mistreats this wonderful guy throughout their entire relationship.
Please just shut up. I am so sick of hearing you talking all the time. Don't you ever just shut up?
It all starts with her lying and getting a discount on his furniture, then continues all the way through until she accepts his proposal even though she doesn't actually want to marry him. Along the way, she's a total brat about his country house and even has the gall to bring Big there after everything that's happened.
Before I knew it, I was telling him to make a right at the sign for Farm Fresh Summer Squash.
I don't want him in my
I
house.
totally understand.
She never appreciates just how good she has it with Aiden, and of course ruins it in the end.
Look at me before we make a huge mistake.
If you don't want to marry me right now, you'll never want to marry me.
Number 2, she magically makes every conversation about her.
Oh my God, listen to me going on and on about Mashiko Kakutani when you have real problems. So can I obsess for another minute?
Carrie sure knows how to talk about herself. And after she breaks up with Big, her friends are so sick of hearing her whine about their relationship, they actually send her to therapy.
Honey, you're obsessed with talking about Big, and frankly, we can't take it anymore.
It's out of our league.
What is this, an intervention?
Yes, stop her before she obsesses again.
But even more egregious is the fact that, despite the much more serious problems that her friends are having, Carrie always manages to steer the conversation back to herself and her own issues.
I'm trying to jumpstart my ovary.
I think the mother's taking those for menopause.
Why, does she have a tilted uterus too?
Hey, isn't anybody going to notice my purse?
Probably the most memorable instance of this is when Miranda hurts her neck, and Carrie shows up with bagels to cheer her up. Once she arrives, though, she can't stop talking about her problems with Aiden, and Miranda will not let it slide.
You and your bullshit cheer me up bagels. They're just a decoy so you could talk about Aiden. Look, you didn't even bring cream cheese.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some dishonorable mentions.
I understand why you see a shrink, because you're always in your head, but I'm fine. I am functioning. Besides, I don't really, to be honest, I just don't buy the whole shrink thing.
It's bad enough you send your boyfriend to help me when I call you, but now, the bullshit bagels.
You f***ing made me date you before the month. And now I'm drunk.
Number 1. She cheats on Aiden with Big.
You broke my heart.
The number 1 entry on our list is also the most obvious. If there's one thing that fans truly could not forgive Carrie for, it was her affair with Big. Cheating on a partner is always wrong, but Carrie somehow manages to make the situation even worse every step of the way. First of all, she cheats with the absolute worst person for her, who also happens to be married. She also continuously feels sorry for herself throughout the process, rather than reflecting on how others are affected by her actions.
I had always assumed the one who would be hurt in all this would be me.
And finally, her treatment of Aiden when they finally do get back together is almost unbearable to watch.
You have to forgive me. You have to forgive me.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.